Tonight, Ben Yedder sings Manchester United.
Barcelona away Chelsea at the No Camp.
Indiana Pacers continue impressive away form.
Venus Williams backs up win over Serena.
And Tiger and Ernie named President's Cup captains.
It is a very good evening and a warm welcome to Kwese Sports News.
Thank you very much for joining us as we bring you the very top sports news.
Well, Manchester United boss Jose Mourinho put on a brave face after his team was knocked out of the UEFA Champions League by Sevilla last night. The Spanish team beat the English Giants 2-1 in the second leg of their last 16 tie at Old Trafford. After a goalless first half, Sevilla's Ben Yedder came on to score twice in the space of 4 minutes, while Romelu Lukaku scored a consolation goal 7 minutes from time.
I sit in this chair twice in the Champions League. And I knock out Man United at home, at Old Trafford. I sit in this chair with Porto, Man United out. I sit in this chair with Real Madrid, Man United out. So I don't think it's something new for the club. Sometimes I am lucky with changes. Other times, other managers are lucky with their changes. And I think was a good happy move by Vincenzo to bring Ben Yedder, and when they score the first goal, then the game is completely different.
It will be Sevilla's first appearance in the Champions League quarter-finals in 60 years.
We were in control of the game and the players gave few opportunities to Manchester United in the first half. In the second half, we were more concrete with Ben Yedder. I am happy for him. I'm happy he was able to make the difference today, because in recent times he's suffered a little bit because of my choices.
A very glum-looking Jose Mourinho there. I have to sympathise with Man United fans. But also, the manager coming out to say he needs more money to fix these problems.
Firstly, Romy, I thought this morning I was waking up from a very bad dream.
A nightmare.
But I don't think Jose Mourinho's problems are with players, needing more expensive players. He's got that. He's got one of the best squads in the Premier League. But I don't know if the FA Cup, he's going into the quarters of the FA Cup this weekend with Brighton. I don't know if going forward there, it'll be enough to keep him there because fans don't like how they play. So I don't know, but I think he should be given a break. Winning 2 trophies in your maiden season.
You're right about that, yeah.
So I really think he should be given a break.
I don't know if the weekend will be any consolation. They call it the beautiful game after all, but not so beautiful for Jose Mourinho. While Mohamed Salah seemed to be amongst those who enjoyed United's Champions League demise, the Liverpool striker had come in for some online derision after his subdued performance in the team's Premier League loss to the Red Devils. Moments after United were dumped out, Salah tweeted, "The UCL draw can't come soon enough," along with a cheeky, laughing emoji. Was this in response to United's Ashley Young uploading this picture on Instagram with the caption, "Stop asking me. He's not in my pocket. I swear he's not."
Oh, you gotta love them. Well, Salah's former team, Roma, booked their spot alongside Sevilla in the quarters. The Italians beat Shakhtar Donetsk 1-0 in the second leg of their last 16 tie at the Stadio Olimpico. And Edin Dzeko's strike in the 52nd minute helped Roma book a last 8 spot for the first time since 2008. They had lost the first leg 2-1 but progressed on away goals. Shakhtar had Ivan Ordet sent off halfway through the second half after he pulled Dzeko down by the shirt.
At the very end of the match, I believe my players were a bit scared they couldn't close it out, even though we had one man more than them. But if we look at Roma's defense, Alisson didn't even have to save once, and that means the team showed unique focus, determination and grit.
The Roma coach was asked how he feels about potentially facing Sevilla, a team coached by his friend Vincenzo Montella.
I spoke with Vincenzo Montella over the phone a few days ago, and we told each other that we will meet in the final. We don't want to meet right now. We are good friends. Jokes aside, even though we need to dream big and be ambitious, I don't really care about which team we will face in the quarterfinals.
Not quite the welcome back season to the Champions League that Man United fans would have hoped for. For Mourinho, it appears as seeing United get knocked out in the closing stages at Old Trafford is common cause, no matter which dugout the Portuguese is sitting in. Barcelona have the upper hand going into the second leg of their last 16 tie with Chelsea. The first leg ended 1-1 thanks to a Lionel Messi strike. However, they face a blue side who are unbeaten in their last 8 matches at the new camp.
Ernesto Valverde's Barcelona side have won 18 of their last 20 home games in all competitions, but they won't be taking that record for granted. Valverde says Chelsea are capable of scoring at any moment.
I can't guess which strategy their coach will choose, whether they will attack us in our area or if they will stay behind. Even though the result from the first leg benefits us, it will be difficult to hold on to that until the end of the game. I think we should not so much focus on what they do, but rather focus on our own game.
Chelsea boss Antonio Conte admits Barcelona's star players will be a handful.
Every single player, and to play this type of game against Barcelona at new camp, you must be excited. You must be excited to play this type of game. A lot of my players never played in this stadium at new camp, but this is the first time, and we want to try to do our best.
Philippe Coutinho is expecting a great game. The cup-tied Barcelona star says he'll be watching it as a fan in the stadium.
It's going to be a very tough game, and Chelsea has a great team. I've played against them a few times. We must play the Barcelona way, to be very focused from minute 1 and try to score very early to achieve a good result.
The rumours that football superstar Neymar might be seeking a move back to Spain will just not go away. Reportedly unhappy at Paris Saint-Germain following their failure to progress to the Champions League. The player has been spoken of fondly by some Barcelona players in recent days. PSG President Nasser Al-Khelaifi was in Brazil this week to visit Neymar's social institute. He was given the tour by Neymar's father, Neymar Sr. The trip was believed to be a public show of support for the player.
I was very happy to be here. Thank you, Neymar Sr., for the great job you're doing for the kids. You have a huge heart.
Neymar's former Barcelona teammate Ivan Rakitic says he would immediately open the door for the Brazilian star's return. Philippe Coutinho was also asked.
I agree with Ivan. Neymar Jr. is a great player, and I also play with him in our national team. It is a privilege for me, and it would be great if he comes back.
Other players have refused to be drawn on the issue, saying it was a question best directed at Neymar.
He will decide his own future. Right now, he is a player for another team, and I will not talk about something that is a rumor about another rumor, because that's talking nonsense.
Now, surely, Romy, this is a load of hogwash. Just after a year, it can't be true.
12 months easy, isn't he? Well, I guess we do have to hear from Neymar, but 222 million euros later. Could he be making another move?
Well, we do hear that Real Madrid are the ones courting him, trying to court him away from the Parc de France, and we do know that they can afford him. So anything is possible in the world of football.
That is right. Andre Iniesta also coming out to saying that if that happens, he would find it rather annoying. Well, Neymar's career statistics with Barcelona speaks volumes. He joined back in 2013. In 186 appearances, he scored 105 goals and won numerous La Liga and Copa del Rey titles, as well as a Champions League in 2015.
Besiktas will need a miracle in Istanbul tonight. Well, Istanbul is known for miracles. They face Bayern Munich in the return leg of their Champions League round of 16 clash with the Germans, carrying a 5-0 advantage from the first. Bayern are in the hunt for a 7th straight quarter-final spot. They have not lost at this stage of the competition since 2010-11. Coach and stand-in captain have called for their players to keep their foot on the pedal.
I have many experienced players in my squad who not only play at a top level for the club, but also for their national teams. They know that despite such a comfortable advantage, it's important to be fully focused throughout the game. You must always concentrate and ignore the result from the first leg. It's a really important game for us, and from the first minute we need to prevent our opponent from building up hope and thinking they can perform a miracle. We want to build on the result from the first leg, but it's not realistic to think that we will score so many goals.
If you're only going to be able to follow one match tonight, it's a no-brainer which one it will be. Either way, only one of Barca or Chelsea will be in Friday's last 8 draw.
Cardiff City came from behind to beat Brentford 3-1 in the AFL Championship last night, their 7th consecutive win. It means Cardiff extend their lead over third-place Aston Villa and keep the pressure on league leaders Wolves, who beat Reading 3-0. Brentford drew first blood with Neil Maupau scoring after just 5 minutes.
And Maupau is onside, and Brentford have a dream start.
But the visitors stepped up the pace with first Sol Bamba.
What about that? Sol Bamba brings Cardiff level.
And then Callum Patterson putting them ahead on the stroke of half-time.
Patterson! Cardiff lead.
Kenneth Zohore then put the match out of Brentford's reach.
And Hoylett, Zohore! 3-1 to Cardiff, and they are surely heading for a magnificent 7 wins in a row.
With 9 games remaining, Cardiff are now 7 points clear of Villa, who lost to QPR. In the battle for playoff spots, there was an important win for Sheffield United, who saw Burton 2-0 at home. It leaves them 7th and 2 points off Middlesbrough in 6th. There's plenty of Premier League experience in the Championship top 6. While there are 9 games remaining, both the top 2, Villa and Fulham, are looking odds-on to qualify automatically or go on to the playoffs.
In the NBA, the Indiana Pacers maintained their slender Eastern Conference advantage over the Cleveland Cavaliers following a narrow win in Philadelphia. The Toronto Raptors remain top in the East, though, following an emphatic win away to the Brooklyn Nets. It's their 9th victory on the trot and 50th overall this season. Jonas Valanciunas had 26 points and 14 rebounds for Toronto. The Canadian side have now moved 4 games clear of the Boston Celtics. Arthur Buonakawa, the Pacers are starting to make a knack of eking out vital away wins.
In a showdown between African All-Stars Joel Embiid and Victor Oladipo, Indiana beats the Philadelphia 76ers 101-98. Embiid scored a team-high 29 points, while Oladipo managed 11 in the win. The Pacers, sitting firmly in 3rd place in the Eastern Conference, have won 6 of their last 7 games, with 4 of those coming on the road. Very impressive for a team that had a lot of question marks at the beginning of the season.
Indeed, well, their habit of winning continues to keep the Cavs at bay. How did LeBron and co do at the Suns?
The Cleveland Cavaliers thrashed the Suns 129-109 in Phoenix. They bounced back from a 2-game skid and remain in 4th place in the East with a record of 39-28. King James was outstanding and affected the game in different ways, finishing with a triple-double, 28 points, 11 assists, and 13 rebounds. It was his 14th triple-double, the most in any season of his career.
And with an abundance of action this morning, what's your play of the day? I hear Beesbrook achieved something great.
More the player than the play, but Russell Westbrook recorded his 100th triple-double of his career. What an accomplishment. He's now only trailing Oscar Robertson, Magic Johnson and Jason Kidd on the all-time triple-doubles list.
It really is an illustrious list. Jason Kidd is first on his radar. Magic Johnson at 137 is still reachable as well. But will Oscar Robertson's 181 triple-doubles stand the test of time? To put Westbrook's achievement into perspective, only the Kings, 76ers, Lakers, Warriors, Celtics and the Nets as franchises have scored more. Thursday morning is going to be one not to miss on Kwese Sports, as both the Celtics and Warriors are in home action.
Up next, Venus books quarterfinal spot on West Coast.
And Anthony Joshua preparations include wall punches.
Kwese TV is here, giving you everything from tender love moments to fly-kicking action. That's grit. Kwese TV brings you world-class entertainment on over 60 channels. First and exclusive to Africa.
Delicious.
Stop paying for TV you're not watching. Get Kwese. Now available in Botswana at selected Choppy stores. With so many subscription plans to choose from, tailored for you. Kwese TV, subscribe now.
Right at the base of the posts. That is enough.
The road to glory is becoming narrow, and the intensity grows.
It's looking good for Bully. And Owen gets it down.
Who will conquer? And who will fall? The Aviva Premiership Rugby continues on Kwese Sports for the fan. Kwese Sports brings you a triple dose of the best sports action. In March, strap in for a thrilling start of the season when Formula One races through the streets of Australia. The fight for dominance continues in the IAAF World Half Marathon Championship. Then, in April, who will set the pace in Boston, Hamburg, Milan, and Rotterdam? Perfect serves will be the order of the day as tennis finest battle it out in the Davis Cup and Fed Cup. And in May, cycling's Grand Tour gears up for an uphill race to the finish in the Giro d'Italia. The kings of the court lace up for tip-off in the NBA playoffs. All this sport and more in HD on Kwese Sports for the fan.
Thank you for staying with us as we continue giving you some top sports stories.
That's right, Kwese Sports News. That is live Monday to Friday, 1900 hours, Central African time. Well, fresh from beating her sister for the first time in 4 years, Venus Williams continued her winning form, defeating Anastasia Sevitsova in straight sets to reach the quarterfinals at Indian Wells. The 7-time Grand Slam champion had to come from behind in both sets for the victory. Williams was down a break in the opener before reeling off 3 games in a row, eventually taking it in a tie-break. The American then found herself 3-love down in the second, but again fought her way back to take it 6-4 and maintain a record of not having dropped a set this tournament.
And it's Venus rising once again. For the first time since 2001, her game blossoms into a quarter-final appearance.
Also safely into the quarters is world number 1 Simona Halep. The Romanian booked her spot with victory over Zhang Wang of China. While she may have been up against an unseeded player, the first set was an even affair. The practice partners exchanging breaks before Halep edged it 7-5. The second couldn't have been more different, with errors creeping into Wang's game. The top seed took control to take it 6-1.
I knew that it's going to be like that because we practiced a few days ago and she beat me in the practice, so it was tough coming here and playing the match, but I was ready.
Also safely through is former world number 1 Angelique Kerber, while there was no such joy for Australian Open champion Caroline Wozniacki, who went down to 20-year-old Russian Daria Kasatkina. Kasatkina and Kerber face off in the last quarter-final on Friday morning. Tonight, Halep faces unseeded Croatian Petra Martic, live on KS2 from 10 p.m. Central African time.
In the men's tournament, Juan Martín del Potro claimed his 5th consecutive victory over David Ferrer to make his way through to the 4th round. The 29-year-old Argentine is playing some of the best tennis of his career. He returned to the world's top 10 for the first time in 4 years a couple of months ago and continues to dominate. Despite del Potro winning 87 of his first serve points, Ferrer refused to capitulate without a fight, saving the first 10 break points he faced. Del Potro's persistence paid off, finally getting the breakthrough with a 6-4, 7-6 win.
Game, set and match. Del Potro, 2 sets to love. 6-4, 7-6.
It took just 2 breaks of serve for Germany's Philipp Kohlschreiber to get the better of world number 3 Marin Cilic. The Australian Open finalist knew he'd be up against it, with the head-to-head stats favouring the German veteran. Sure enough, Cilic once again went down to the 31st seed, losing 6-4, 6-4 to give Kohlschreiber his first win against a top 10 player since 2016.
2 sets to 6-4, 6-4.
In other results, Feliciano Lopez took 3 sets to get the better of American Jack Sock, while it was a similar scenario for Canadian Milos Raonic, whose powerful serving saw him past Portugal's João Sousa. In upcoming men's 4th round action, the Fed Express faces Frenchman Jeremy Chardy, while South Africa's Kevin Anderson, now 9th in the world, will be looking to continue his winning ways when he takes on Pablo Carreno Busta.
The ambitions of the remaining teams are on the line as the ICC Cricket World Cup qualifying tournament in Zimbabwe heads into the Super Sixes stage. Kwese Sports' Dirk Viljoen tells us more.
Here at Harare Sports Club, we'll have West Indies up against Afghanistan tomorrow. It's a massive game. West Indies finally hit their straps, and that's what's important. The warm-up games don't count. They have won all their games, and they've taken maximum points into the next round. Afghanistan, not so good for them. It's going to be tough for them to get to the World Cup and qualify in this tournament. However, be careful of the underdog, and you write off Afghanistan in this game at your peril. You'd like to think, as the tournament's gone, Afghanistan only got through due to Nepal beating Hong Kong and gave Afghanistan that ticket. However, they are due a win, and could this be the game that they win? As it's turned out, West Indies, they're picking up wickets, they're scoring runs, they're looking good in the field, they look a solid unit, they look like a team to qualify for the World Cup. There is, however, the chance that Afghanistan might pull themselves together and pull off what would be a shock victory. That's not all. There are still other games in Bulawayo. Let's go and join Jeff to see what is happening tomorrow in the other Super 6 matches.
Thank you very much, Dirk. It's crunch time in Bulawayo at Queen Sports Club, which will host its last ICC Cricket World Cup qualifier match tomorrow as the UAE and Scotland go face-to-face, head-to-head. And unfortunately for this one, the UAE doesn't look like the odds are in their favour, especially after losing to Ireland by a massive defeat. Scotland, however, are now accustomed to Bulawayo conditions, having played and won at the BAC and at Queen Sports Club. It looks like the odds are in their favour, and especially the fact that they finished Group B with 3 points.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Here's confirmation of the first set of Super Sixes fixtures beginning tomorrow, headlined by the Windies taking on an Afghan side who have yet to pitch up this tournament so far. The whole of Afghanistan will be hoping that their side finally do show their quality. With points having been carried over from the group phase, they sit with 0 after some poor showings in Group B. In the shortest format of the game, Rohit Sharma smashed 89 as India posted 176 for 3 against Bangladesh in the Nida House Trophy, a T20 tri-series also involving host Sri Lanka. In response, the Tigers were restricted to 159 for 6 in a 17-run loss.
While they've battled each other many times over the years, it's never been quite like this for South Africa's Ernie Els and Tiger Woods. The duo have been named captains of the international and United States teams, respectively, for next year December's President's Cup in Melbourne, Australia.
We've had some unbelievable times playing in these events all around the world, and for me to be leading my team, into Australia, one of my favorite places in the world to play golf at, is really going to be an honor. It's going to be really exciting, and I know it's a long way away, but I'm really looking forward to this. It's really kind of a dream job, so to speak, for me.
Both Els and Woods have played 8 times in a tournament that pits America's finest against the rest of the world. That includes their famous showdown in 2003, where a tied sudden death playoff resulted in the trophy being shared in South Africa.
We've been a part of it from the very beginning, Ernie and myself, and we've seen it grow, we've seen it get bigger, and the fact that we can now be a part of it from a different side is going to be very exciting for both of us, especially given our history of battling each other for the last 20-plus years.
Both captains boast prolific records at the President's Cup, but it's 14-time major champion Woods who has the edge on his South African rival.
It's now just over a fortnight until IBF and WBA heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua takes on WBO champion Joseph Parker in their much-anticipated unification bout in Cardiff. Joshua knows all too well that the undefeated New Zealander will be no pushover and is psyching himself up for the fight.
I've earned this heavyweight. This leather belt and gold plate. And we use the weight of expectation to silence the voices of consternation. Inside your head is the greatest fight, because there is always shadow where there is light.
Although he won't quite be punching through a wall, AJ is coming up against a tough, unbeaten Kiwi in Parker. See how it goes live on KS1 from 1900 hours Central African time. Make a date, 31st of March. Before that, the next installment of Kwese Friday Fight Nights comes your way live this week from Vienna, Austria. Don't miss a punch or knockout from 8 p.m. on KFS.
Well, that's it from us tonight. Please remember to tweet us at Kwese Sports using the hashtag Kwese News and follow us on Facebook at Kwese Sports.
And to keep yourself up to date with all the latest sporting news, visit our website, kwesespn.com.
Kwese Sports News is back tomorrow at 1900 Central African time on KS1 for more action.
Don't move anyway. Stay right where you are. Hashtag right after this. From all of us here. Till next time, cheerio.
Bye.